Hello, I'm Mark Miller, lead singer of the band Sawyer Brown. Now, if you're watching this, there's really a good chance you and I have crossed paths once or twice before. Because for the past 30 years, my band's been crisscrossing this United States, playing live shows in all 50 states. Thousands of shows from millions of music fans. One of the greatest things about being on the road is a chance to meet people in every city and every town we play. Especially the people who work so hard to produce the food our family eats every day. I'm talking about the farmers, ranchers, and animal ag workers. These are hard-working heroes, great role models, and really just great citizens doing incredible things. Now, if you're a farmer or have a farmer in your family, I can relate to you firsthand. You see, my grandfather was a farmer. His name was Aiden. In fact, my song, The Walk, was written about him. He was the most influential man in my life.
'Cause I took this walking now, boy, I've been in your shoes. Well, you can't hold back the hands of time, it's just something you got to do. So dry your eyes, I understand just what you're going through. 'Cause I took this same walk with my old man, boy, I've been in your shoes.
My grandfather was the cook in our home. And when I was growing up, all my friends would hang out at my house and he would feed them all. And nothing made him happier. He was my hero. Today, my close friend Bill Goldberg and I have come together to talk about some of today's heroes.
I'm Bill Goldberg. The word hero is a very special word. I'm not talking about sports stars or celebrities. To me, a hero is someone who does everything he or she can to help and protect others.
Some of these heroes are American farmers. When I get to meet these people, it's clear farming is much more than just a job.
It's about a lifelong commitment to providing a safe, affordable, nutritious, and sustainable food supply.
It's our job to make sure there's enough safe food for the world's ever-growing population.
Today, the American farmer feeds more than their own household. Each one feeds approximately 155 people a day. In 1960, that number was 26.
Less than 2% of Americans are in agriculture. Yet, more than 95% of farms are family-owned. And every single one of them is dedicated to providing safe and healthy food for all of us.
And they do it affordably.
Agriculture workers are unsung heroes. Worldwide, there are hundreds of millions of people who reap the benefits of the food they produce. But most people are not aware of what really happens in the agriculture world. Consumers have a lot of questions about where our food comes from and how it's produced.
Here's one example you may have heard. So many people think chickens are bigger now because of added hormones. Have you heard that? Well, it's actually illegal to give steroids or hormones to chickens. Did you know that?
We're glad consumers want to know more. That's our job to help answer those questions. Understanding the facts not only helps you make better choices for your family, but also helps to ensure proper decisions are made for how we can safely and affordably meet the demands of nutritious food here in the United States and around the world.
Some people wish food was produced like the good old days. Often they think that fewer animals meant that they were healthier and better cared for. But in fact, modern innovations help individualize and improve care and health. American farmers have always made safety a priority, and they continue to look for new and better ways to improve the safety of our food supply each year. In fact, according to the FDA, this improvement means Americans are able to have one of the safest food supplies on the planet.
The United States food supply systems is one of the safest in the world.
Very few industries are as closely regulated and inspected as the meat and poultry industry. In fact, the U.S. plants that process meat and poultry are inspected every day.
The FDA applies human food safety tests to ensure the safety of all antibiotics used in food animal production.
Yes, we made these advances and changes, and today our food supply is safer than ever.
Farmers in the agricultural industry are continuously working to improve the way they produce food, using contemporary practices to help make food more affordable. In 1950, Americans spent 34% of their income on food. And just over half a century later, in 2003, that number had fallen to 13%.
Today, because of increased efficiency, Americans spend less than 6% of their income on food.
To compare, in 1950, housing costs accounted for 21% of household income. Today, housing costs account for 33%. And during the same time period, transportation costs rose from 11% of household income to 22%.
It makes you wish farmers ran the housing and automobile industries too.
To the farmers, ranchers, and all the agricultural workers, we thank you.
Our farmers provide a food supply that is affordable. But what impact are we having on the environment?
Since 1944, the U.S. dairy industry has reduced its carbon footprint by 63%. And that's a result of improved nutrition and care. So what we see today is that on average in the United States, we produce 20,000 pounds of milk per cow per year. In Mexico, they produce 4,000 pounds of milk per cow per year. And that means it takes 5 cows in Mexico to produce the same amount of milk as 1 cow here in the States.
It takes 34% less land and 14% less water to produce 1 pound of beef than it did in 1977. That's an overall 18% smaller carbon footprint.
According to the EPA, all of agriculture produces approximately 6% of all greenhouse gases. Animal agriculture around 3%. Now compare this to the transportation sector, which emits about 26% of America's greenhouse gases.
Don't you wish every industry could provide this level of affordability, this kind of safety record, and this type of environmental stewardship improvement? Farmers, ranchers, animal agricultural workers, I can't say enough. You are my heroes.
To those heroes out there, we need you to continue the advancements you've made providing safe, healthy, lower-cost food while using fewer natural resources. Our world is depending on you.
American farmers are good, hard-working people who care about their land, their animals, their environment, and most importantly, their fellow man.
They take the responsibility of feeding others very seriously. They realize that the lives of billions of people rely on their commitment to providing a safe, healthy, and sufficient food supply.
In our separate travels around the globe, Bill and I have seen a lot.
Yes, we have. And in the past 3 decades, so much has changed, including us.
Now, that was Bill Goldberg in the 1980s, a defensive force at the University of Georgia.
This was Mark Miller.
Wow. That was us back when we won a television show called Star Search. And what I tell my kids is we were the original American Idols.
In all seriousness, a lot has changed in the world since those days.
Many things have changed, and for the better. But there is one global problem that still needs to change, and change drastically.
The numbers that describe the problem are beyond staggering. Listen to this. Today, about 870 million people don't get enough food. Worldwide, every 3.6 seconds, someone dies from malnutrition. Over 9 million people will die this year alone. Nearly 7 million will be children. Something has to be done because according to the United Nations, by 2050, we will need 70% more food, and 70% of that food will have to come from continued efficiency improvements. So join me
And me.
And all of us.
And all of us.
Join to help support our heroes in their fight against domestic and world hunger and making food security a reality for all people. Let's all recognize those farmers, ranchers, and agriculture workers and applaud their advancements in their daily quest to provide every family, every person, every child with enough safe, healthy, and low-cost food.
As our heroes continue to work hard every day to attack the problem of hunger, let's all do our part too.
There are kids in your hometown that will go hungry tonight. For many kids, the only decent meal they get will be at school. We all need to help. I can help, and you can help.
First, get educated. Hungry children are all over the United States. This is real.
Second, get involved. Find a local program that provides meals to hungry children on the weekends. Remember, it's not the child's fault that they're hungry.
This year, the Chew on This tour has a new goal: to provide 7 million meals to children. As you step away today, please consider donating $5, $10, $20, or even more to feed children living right here in this area.
Please don't stop there. When you're home, look for a local program near you and take part. Can't find one? Take the lead. Be the person who starts a new one. Unless you've seen severe hunger firsthand, it's hard to even imagine when you hear such shocking numbers. Think of world hunger as one person, one child in need of one meal right now, this minute.
Remember my grandfather Aiden? If he were here today, he would be leading the charge in the Chew on This tour. He would be so proud to know that I'm using the platform God gave me to help feed the children of the world. We can do it. Let us each lead a child by the hand, feel the pain they're going through, and do what it takes to help.